Bless me. Today we're going to be talking about bodybuilders in their teens versus their prime and genetics, basically, because a lot of people don't understand having good genetics. It's about muscle insertion, not size and freakiness, because size and freakiness is added with other supplements. It's about the insertions, and a lot of people don't understand that. You could be obese and have really good insertions, you just can't tell because there's a lot of fat on them. You could be skinny and have really good insertions, and you don't know because you haven't really filled out your frame. You don't know how your insertions go. So today we're going to be looking at some bodybuilders then and now, and then I'm really going to show you that it's basically about the insertions, and you can always get bigger with certain things, and that'll help you get bigger, but at the end of the day, it comes down to insertions and waist size and bodybuilding. So let's get started. Also, if this is the first video you're ever watching of me, hit that sub button and support me every time I upload. It means a lot. Anyways, enough begging. Let's get into the first bodybuilder, Jason Yu. Genetic freak. Already he has prominent shoulder development. Biceps have some vascularity. He is a chest. His upper chest is pretty filled out. As you can see, his tricep genetics are pretty godlike. The two heads are easily displayed. The back looks good. So he's not that big in this video. And if you see the current Jason Yu, shebang! You basically see the same thing, just multiplied size-wise. Now, Jason Yu also has a really tight waist for his shoulder size, or highlighting the legs, and a really good set of muscle insertions. His biceps are inserted pretty good. He has really good shoulder insertions. His upper chest is coming in. You know, he looks good, but he doesn't have that freaky size, all right? Once you add the freaky size, that's when his insertions really fill out. And you see he has a full upper chest shelf. He didn't even have traps back then. Well, he wasn't flexing them, I guess. But traps filled out. Shoulders just added on to the shoulders already there. So this is what it is to have good insertions as a teenager. The size will come with time and supplements, but you need to have the good insertions. This is what good genetics look like. He doesn't look like a complete freak as a teenager, but he has really good vascularity. He has really good shoulder development as well as chest development, and he has a small waist. And if you don't know, he's maintained that small waist even to the size he is today. That's a really small waist for a bodybuilder that size. And as you can see, he still maintained his amount of vascularity, just multiplied. And again, it's about the insertions. The genetically elite win bodybuilding, okay? There's nothing around that. But you can have good insertions. You just might not know. You have to get a look. You don't have to get super lean like this, but you have to get lean enough and have enough muscle to see what your insertions really look like. And let's just skip over to the next one, Arnold. Now, what I wanted to show you with Arnold is his amazing upper chest development. That is like the hardest part to develop on most people's body, upper chest. His bicep peak, see how his bicep squeezes like that and forms a peak. And his small waist. All right, does he look like a freak? Does he look like he's going to be... Yeah, he has good genetics. But, you know, the size isn't there, and he's small, as all these haters would say. But he has really good insertions, and when you show him in his prime, he basically just stacked muscle on top of those good insertions. The bicep peak, the upper and lower chest shelf, and he maintained his small waist. Personally, he hit the genetic lottery. There's really not that much to nitpick about this physique. It's insertions, though. See, he didn't have the size back then. If you saw him, you'd be like, wow, yeah, he looks good, but he's not, like, huge. And then once you add muscle on top of those insertions, that's when it really pops. If he was obese, like if he was fat, like really fat, he'd probably never know he had those good bicep peaks. He'd probably never know his upper chest is a shelf and he has those good genetic genes. And he would have to cut down and see. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get at it's not about like the size or the leanness. You could have good genetics. You might just not know. Alright, let's move on to the next genetic elite. And he's everyone's favorite bodybuilder, Mike O'Hearn. This is a picture of him at 14 years old. What a freak. Shredded at 176 at 14. This guy has the genetic lottery also. You know, tight waist, good ab genetics, huge biceps, thick legs. Does he look like he looks like now? No, but you could definitely see he had some potential at this young of an age. This is him. This is a current picture of him next to Rich Piana. And as you can see, round delts, crazy upper chest, small waist, shredded. If Mike was obese off season this picture, would you think he had amazing genetics? Probably not. But again, it comes down to the insertions. And the last one I want to show is Ronnie Coleman. And his insertions are insane. Just the way his whole muscular development is. You know, even when he was really young in high school, crazy muscular insertions. Just the way they all pop and they're 3D like. You know, he's one of the very few that looks freaky without the need for anything. And then, of course, when he added in the supplements, that's the result. So, the whole point of this video was to say you could have good genetics. You might just not know because you're either too skinny or too obese. Okay, you can't always see the insertions all the time. And you could go really far if you knew your genetic potential truthfully. Don't just be like, oh, and when you look in the mirror and you're like 20% body fat, oh, I have no genetics, you know, I'll never look like them. Yeah, you might actually have really good insertions and you're just hiding it over a layer of fat. Or, oh, I'm so skinny, you know, I'll never fill out like them. It's not about the size, it's about the insertions. And if you fill out, you might actually have really good insertions. So I really encourage people to still build muscle and see what their insertions look like, because you could actually fill out and have a really good physique, and you might just give up early in the game when you could have just had a great physique. Alright, I know this is kind of a rambling video, but I thought it was a cool, interesting topic. I'll see you in my next one, guys. Recommend me some videos to make. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.